Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you fragrances that smell like money that work amazing in the cooler weather. So I can't wait to share it with you. And I'm not only doing that, but I'm going to share you the vibe. What's the woman that would be wearing this absolutely amazing, rich, opulent, money-smelling fragrance? I'm going to tell you the woman that wears it, then you can decide which one you would wear. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to hit that button, join the Weird and Wonderful family. I upload on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, so if you like regular content, please feel free to subscribe. And for those of you that are already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. And without further ado, let's get into this. Now, I guess there is one more ado, and that is my shirt. So I wore this not too long ago, and a lot of you really, really loved this shirt, and I love it too. I got it from Shein for about $14. It's a onesie, so if I was wearing it with nylons, I'd be channeling my inner Beyonce for sure, because these sleeves are just fantastic. So love this shirt. If I can find it, I'll link it down below for you. Moving on to opulent, classy fragrances and the women that wear them. The first cooler weather fragrance that smells like money is L'Interdit by Givenchy. Now I find this one too cloying in the spring and summer, but if you want like a classy grown woman fragrance for fall and winter, this is it. So this is so delicious. It's sweet. There's pear and bergamot in the opening. I think there's orange blossom, jasmine, sambac, and tuberose in this one. Definitely a tuberose heavy fragrance. And then the base has patchouli, vetiver, ambroxan, and vanilla. And I definitely get the vanilla especially. So this smells slightly, what I would say to be a creamy floral. Definitely get that pear. It's very sweet. It's a major projector, lasts a long time, but I find it extremely classy. So when I think of L'Interdit, I think of a woman that travels to London a lot for business. So she usually flies to London. She stays in the absolute best hotels. She oftentimes is wearing some sort of a wool suit, usually a neutral color that tends to be a little bit lighter, like a camel or a cream colored wool suit, very well tailored. She spends a ton of money on those clothes, and she always has an Hermes Birkin bag with her. She usually has a wrap on in the cooler months, and she wears L'Interdit. She likes to smell feminine and powerful, but she also wants to be noticed. This has a slight, just a slight flirty edge to it. It's super uber feminine, very sweet, kind of intoxicating, but still really classy, elegant, and definitely daytime appropriate. So that is L'Interdit. Now the next fragrance that I think works in cooler weather but definitely smells like money would be Quatre by Boucheron. Now first of all, I love this bottle. I talk about that every time, but I love the fact that it does this. Quatre by Boucheron, it's a very beautiful kind of sweet watery rose. So there's fruity notes in it, but there's this watery rose component that's similar to an Idole, but I think that this one's better. Now my mom, who I think is the epitome of class, she wears Chanel Chance au Tendre, and then she wears Boucheron Quatre. So after her smelling this one at my place, she purchased a full bottle, and she really, really enjoys this one. So it's definitely sweet, but the floral is the star of the show, and it is that rose. That said, this is extremely feminine and classy. This one to me can be worn all year round. So for those of you that like that watery rose, this one's going to project to me in the cooler weather, especially with that little bit of a sweeter component. I think this one works amazing. The woman that wears Quatre, she lives in Paris. She works hard, but she equally plays hard, and what she really enjoys doing, although she works and her home base is in Paris, she spends an awful lot of time on the French Riviera. She just really, really enjoys that whole entire scene, the nightlife, just the warmer weather, the breeze of the ocean. She likes smelling fresh and slightly clean, but she also likes just a hint of sweetness. She has quite a lot of gold on, but she always keeps it classy and is essentially understated elegance. Now, my next cooler weather fragrance that smells like money is Shaghaf Oud by Swiss Arabian. Now this one, like, it just smells opulent. Like, you can't get away from that opulent feel. Now this is supposed to smell similar to Lancome's Oud Bouquet. I find Lancome's Oud Bouquet a little sweeter, a little less oud, and a little bit more velvety feeling, but I have Shaghaf Oud, so I'm talking about this one. This fragrance is primarily saffron, oud, rose, praline, and vanilla is what you get in this one. Definitely that rose oud combination comes out, but you also get the sweetness of the praline and the vanilla and just a hint of spice from that saffron. So this fragrance definitely smells opulent. The woman that wears Shaghaf Oud, she lives in New York in a huge brownstone. You walk into her house and it's got this amazing kind of almost foyer. There's a round, beautiful wooden table that sits in the middle of the foyer with a beautiful bouquet. It's got roses. The colors are kind of red, rose, the wood on the inside. It's got the beautiful kind of crown molding. It's got brown wood in it. The ceilings are coffered and the ceilings are high. There's a huge chandelier, and then as you walk into your house, there's this beautiful slight spiral staircase that's going up to the beautiful upstairs area. Now as you walk to the left hand side of this beautiful brownstone, you enter into this quite large ground room. In fact, it's so large there's 2 separate seating areas with full couches at each one. There's room for a grand piano. There's a giant enormous fireplace. This is where our heroine lives. Now she loves to smell opulent, rich, sophisticated, and slightly sexy. So she goes for Shaghaf Oud. Especially in the fall and winter months, Shaghaf Oud is her signature scent because she does so much entertaining. Her and her husband, they know the who's who of New York. whoever the who's who is, this is what this couple knows. And they throw these beautiful parties, and what she really loves is wearing gorgeous gowns to the parties. So she always smells like this rich, opulent rose oud combination with these beautiful, like, her favorite gown is, it's got black velvet on the bodice, and then the skirt is ginormous going down to the floor, almost slight train. It's in a beautiful kind of deep, rich red taffeta. So she has lots of gowns, but that's one of her favorites. And yeah, she wears Shaghaf Oud fall and winter all the time. It's her signature scent. And man, oh man, she smells like money. Next fragrance that smells like money that's perfect for cooler weather, but it's good all year round, is Gris Charnel by BDK. Now this fragrance, it's got cardamom, fig, and black tea in the opening. Definitely get that tea, get a hint of that spice from the cardamom. It's got iris, bourbon, vetiver, sandalwood, and tonka bean. There's a hint of spice, just ever so slightly sweet, like not sweet. I would never categorize this as sweet, but it's very elegant, it's sophisticated. The tea in it is beautiful. It's a very elegant fragrance, and what I always think of is a cloche, and you put it kind of that like a smoke thing in there, and then it's got steam or smoke kind of swirling on the inside. That's the feel it gives me. Like, it doesn't smell like smoke, but there's kind of this hazy fog-like gray feel. So even the color of the juice is slightly gray, and somehow it just absolutely suits the vibe of the fragrance. Now this fragrance is worn by a woman. She's like actually in her early 30s. She's brilliant. She's an amazing executive that just rose to stardom very quickly in this high profile company. So she basically has carte blanche of the company. She's a closer on deals. Like, she knows what she's doing even though she's so young. So she travels in the company's private jet literally all over the globe. She has a beautiful clothing, like her wardrobe is just gorgeous. She has an outfit for every occasion and she knows exactly what to wear. She keeps it understated and elegant though, because she's dealing with the high class clientele. So she always keeps it sophisticated, classy, elegant, but just a hint of sensuality in there. And she wears Gris Charnel. The next fragrance that absolutely smells like money is Milano by Fragrance du Bois. This one's a really interesting one because it's got a sweetness to it that's quite mouth-watering, but it's paired with a leather that comes across as almost a little bit of a cigarette vibe. But I'm not talking like stale cigarette or harsh. It's anything but harsh, but it feels almost as if you just walked by just a whisper, just a tiny whisper of a cigarette smell is what you get in this. I just think it's quite addictive. It has orange, saffron, thyme, and bergamot in the opening, fruits, olibanum, and jasmine in the middle, and then the base is leather, musk, amber, woody notes, and vanilla. So this one comes across, you know, slightly sweet, but not too sweet. It's unisex, but I would say it leans a little bit feminine. I really love that like little bit of leather in it, like the leather cigarette feel. I just think it adds it just kind of grounds it and keeps it a little bit mysterious, a little bit intoxicating. The inspired city of this fragrance is Milan. Our heroine in this story, she lives in Milan, and her favorite outfit to wear is just a crisp, white, beautiful quality cotton shirt with tailored trousers and mules. She wears just a minimal jewelry, always very neat, tidy, precise in the way she dresses, in the way she conducts herself, especially throughout the week. This woman, she's an easy smiler. She's really quite understated. She doesn't show off her wealth, but she likes quality. So she wears quality pieces and everything, but it's not like you know what label it is or anything like that, because to her, quality is more important than any sort of name. She comes from rather old money, but she definitely works hard for the money that she has. Now, although she comes across as quite conservative during the weekdays, on the weekend, as opposed to her weekday outfit or slash uniform, on the weekends, she trades that in and she puts on an all leather one-piece motorcycle outfit and rides her Ducati all around Milan and the outlying areas. Like that woman, she's on her Ducati all the time, and she's a racer, man. Like she can take on anybody on those windy roads, and you know what? She's gonna win. Part of me wonders if she isn't a secret spy and works for some sort of government agency on the side. Her whole entire conservative kind of persona is actually just a cover for who she really is, which is an international woman of mystery, a spy, if you will, an assassin maybe. But anyway, that is Milano. Next fragrance that smells like money is Plum in Cognac by Sense of Wood. This one, it's literally intoxicating. I just absolutely love this. You get the wood, you get the plum, you get the cognac. Like seriously, this smells so amazingly intoxicating. It has rum, there's plum, Peru balsam, cinnamon, vanilla, labdanum, immortelle, vetiver, and osmanthus. What I get is definitely that wood. You get the plum, you get the booziness. There's a bit of spice in this one. It's absolutely gorgeous. It smells so opulent and luxurious and decadent and definitely like old money. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm so in love with this fragrance. So the woman that wears Plum and Cognac, she lives in a manor on an estate just outside of Los Angeles. Now, her and her husband, they've been living there for years. Her house is always perfectly decorated. The grounds are beautiful, and they just really like spending their time there. My guess is if they had their druthers, they would actually move to Tuscany. But their whole entire family is in Los Angeles, so that's where they stay. They have friends out and whatnot. Sometimes Martha Stewart comes there. Martha Stewart actually takes her inspiration from this woman who really knows how to do things right. But anyway, her and her husband, they started a small, very exclusive boutique winery. And one of their favorite things is to just get really expensive, exotic, different liquors, liqueurs, wines, cognacs, and one of their hobbies is to taste them and then kind of guess notes and stuff like that. So anyway, she has this beautiful boutique winery, and her dream is to actually really find the perfect wine. She works with a sommelier, but she's actually so well learned in that area that she's thinking she wants to go out on her own and really begin to explore making her own wines completely. So this woman, she wears Plum and Cognac. You know, they go into town once in a while, but for the most part, they love their quiet life. She likes what she likes, and what she likes is luxurious. Next fragrance that smells like money is Chergui by Serge Lutens. Oh my goodness. I'm so in love with this fragrance. Like it's just literally addictive. Like I can't get enough of it. Now this one has tobacco, honey, amber, hay, incense, sandalwood, iris, musk, and rose. What I get, for whatever reason, I kind of get a little bit of a cherry vibe somehow, but I definitely get that tobacco. This one is just sensual. It's warm. There's a coziness to this. It's a little bit mysterious as well. Now, our heroine, her father is a lord, and so, you know, she's kind of been able to kind of do whatever she wanted. She got her doctorate in Celtic history, so she spends a lot of her time in Ireland and Scotland, you know, around cairns, and she'll go to Stonehenge, different places like that, always researching. She's written a few books, and although this chick, you know, some people might think, oh, she's just part of the boring intelligentsia, there's nothing that's boring about her. In fact, although she hangs around with academics most of the time, this woman has found secrets, mysteries of the universe, if you will, and she's gone to other dimensions. She's gone to this really cool Celtic dimension where she's met different people that would be technically part of the fair folk. She has a whole other life that is on the flip side that's completely Celtic, but because she's so well versed, she can maneuver through that realm as much as she can maneuver through this realm. So she is quite interesting, slightly otherworldly, and she wears Chergui. I've got three more for you. First is Santal Royale by Guerlain. This one, it's so opulent. Again, it's kind of an oud rose combination. I think that if I had to choose between this and Lancome's Oud Bouquet or Shaghaf Oud, I'd probably pick this one. This one's definitely more sandalwood heavy. It has a bit of an oud vibe, definitely has the spice, cinnamon, definitely has the rose, definitely smells like old money. So the woman that wears this fragrance, she owns a huge estate. Like, she comes from old money. She owns a huge estate, and it's just outside of Chicago, and it actually was owned by Al Capone. Although she puts a smile on her face, she's very elegant. She lives in opulence, and she's very friendly. She's slightly aloof, and what people don't really realize is that she is a ruthless businesswoman. Like, she will take you down. She's known to take companies down, and she does it in a way that you don't even know what's happened to you until it's too late. But the most interesting thing about her is what she really enjoys doing is putting on a pair of riding pants, riding boots, and going out to the barns and hanging out with the horses. She does a ton of riding, and she definitely enjoys horses more than people. She loves the smell of the hay. She loves the smell of the barn, the wood of the barn, the earthiness. That's what she lives for. So this scent feels like home to her. She smells super bougie, and don't cross her. Santal Royale by Guerlain. Next fragrance that smells like money is L'Extase by Nina Ricci. Now, this is an affordable one. Actually, quite a few of these are affordable. I always leave them all in the description too, so if you're interested, they're all linked there. So this one, the star of the show, is definitely Rose again. It's very feminine. It's quite floral, but there's also like a caramel feel to this one. I think there may be raspberry in this one, but what I get is kind of rose with some sweet caramel coming out and some vanilla later on. This one is uber feminine. So the woman that wears this, she married into money. Her husband works, so she doesn't have to. She's raised 4 beautiful children, all very successful. She's warm. She's kind of like that traditional woman that is like, she bakes. Her house is beautiful. You want to go stay there. You want a hug from her because she smells so amazing, just somehow warm and comforting. And the way she dresses, she wears a silk blouse, or kind of like a kind of more gauzy blouse with kind of flowy pants. She always looks absolutely feminine. Like, she's very feminine, but very put together always. Like, it doesn't matter where you see her, she's always put together. But she wears this one. She's warm, she's kind, she's friendly, she's an amazing hostess, and she loves her life. She lives to enjoy her family, and she wears like stars. Last fragrance that I think smells like money is Orchidee Vanille by Van Cleef & Arpels. Now, first of all, Van Cleef & Arpels, they make the coolest like clock pieces, and their watches are like unbelievable. And then their jewelry, to me, is kind of weird, like the clover things. I'll show a picture somewhere. I don't quite get it. But I definitely think that this smells like money. It's a beautiful vanilla. The cool thing about this vanilla is it's slightly chocolatey, and so it's a beautiful gourmand without smelling sicky sweet dessert-like. So it's a gourmand for non-gourmand people, and it's also a vanilla for people that aren't really crazy about vanilla fragrances as well. This one is vanillic without being too sickly sweet. And the other thing that's neat about this is it's more straight up in the sense that it doesn't have any smokiness or like really a woody feel. It's more of a gourmand feel to it. A little slight bit of powder in it, but it's just not too sweet. So I think it's gorgeous. It has dark chocolate, vanilla orchid, tonka bean, almond, mandarin orange, violet musk, lychee, cedar, and Bulgarian rose. That said, what I get is kind of a chocolatey, slightly powdery vanilla. It's really beautiful, and to me, it's like not so in your face. I don't know, I just really find this one alluring. I guess that would be the term I would use. The woman that wears Orchidee Vanille, she's a bit of a socialite. So her father, he owns resorts. In particular, this one in Aspen. So she spends her time all over the place, kind of jet setting around North America. Loves to kind of be in the limelight. She does a lot of Instagram-y type stuff. Kind of a bit of an influencer, mainly because of what her father does. But she likes to smell sweet and cozy, but she doesn't want to smell in your face. And she kind of, although she puts herself out there, there's a whole other aspect to her which is very private. So with her fragrance, she doesn't want it projecting very much. She wants to keep it closer to the skin. This woman, she spends most of her time on the slopes of Aspen, and then is staying in the most luxurious resort that her father owns, and basically is catered to. Her whole life is catered to. But she smells like Orchidee Vanille. She smells like a vanilla chocolate caramel somehow. And although she's not currently in a relationship and isn't looking for one, like, she does not need a man to complete her at all, she wouldn't be opposed to a relationship if one drops into her lap. And it probably will, because it's a bit of a Hallmark movie scenario. So that is it. Those are my fragrances that smell like money. To me, these are all opulent. Some are a little bit more sophisticated and elegant, work as signature scent. Other ones are a little bit more dark, deep, mysterious. But to me, they all smell like money. What about you? What are the ones on this list that you relate to? Leave it in the comments. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.